Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Local Pundit. I'm Josh Anthony. This is your WREXtra Time phone-in show. As you can see, I'm touching buttons again with myself and Aaron. How are you? Good to see you, buddy. I got no words.
I got a few words. I don't know if I can say them.
All right, well, have your say.
I'm good though. I'm good.
Yeah. Give us, yeah, that's just so everyone knows. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for doing the watch along. This is your show, the WREXtra Time phone-in call-in show. We'll get that in. Gonna have Aaron have his say first, and then we will open it up to the floor, to the masses, to have a quick chinwag about that performance. 1-1, 18th minute goal from Elliot Lee, who went off, and Omacheri 86 minutes. So get your questions in, get them on. Aaron, what do you think? What say you?
Tough result. Wasn't deserved. I think we were the better team for the whole of the game. I don't think we were as good in the second half. I think the change they made was a good one at halftime, bringing on Omacheri. He's a very good player. Brought a bit of speed, and he definitely caused us a little bit of issues. I think in the first half, I thought we looked really good. The first 30 minutes, up until Lee went off, I thought we looked really good. We were dominating. They didn't have a shot on target, or they didn't have a shot on goal, not just on target. They didn't have a shot on goal the entire first half. So, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. I think it just kind of slowly started slipping away, and you kind of expected things to turn around. And we us just get on top of it after that first, maybe five minutes or so of the second half after the change. Thought we'd settle into it, and we just kind of never did. I thought we'd get on top of it and hold the ball a little longer, and just put pressure on them, and we just couldn't hold the pressure. And when we did get our chances, we just didn't take them. I mean, we just, our finishing has not been good. Mullin struggled again today. And the other thing with him, he didn't look as good off the ball either today. I don't think he looked like he was just dogging the defenders like he usually does. And I don't know if he still got something lingering from that injury. And it's very possible. I don't want to make excuses for him, but he doesn't look like normal Mullin right now.
Yeah. He puts himself around, but it's not,
it wasn't, it's not the usual, like we're used to seeing, like we saw last year. I thought Brunt probably had his worst game today, which, that's disappointing. So maybe we see TOC back in
Where was
the back
he?
three.
On the bench. Where's Scar?
Right. I think I don't know. But we'll see. Scar, I don't know. I mean, O'Connell didn't look super great. And the back three didn't look great today. They looked good early, but then later on in the game, they did look tired. Maybe it's because they played so much. Maybe we do need to just change it around a little bit, just for some, just a different look. But yeah, missed you too, Vincente.
Yeah, Vincente. Yeah. By the way, go ahead. I dropped the link in the StreamYard so everyone come in and have their say. Let's get the calls up today. We'd love to have people coming in. We got our first customer there. But sorry, finish off there, Aaron. I didn't cut you off. Apologize.
No, you're good. You're good. But here's what we need to look at right now. Okay.
Go on.
Everybody take a deep breath. Okay. Let me ask you this. Would you have taken a draw against Barnsley and a draw against Lincoln? Because I think going into both those games, we all said yes.
Okay.
So if we draw those two games and then win these last two games, we're still sitting at the same points, but we'd all been more positive about it, correct?
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. So I think we're right where we thought we wanted to be. Okay. Now, we could have been better. Once you win those games, you're expecting to be ahead. But I think if you look back, look at the season as a whole, I think we're still in a very good position.
Okay.
There's no reason to completely lose our minds. It's okay. Lose. We still got a point. It's not the end of the world.
Aaron is Mr. Positivity, and everyone's excited about how great your internet is. And Kelly doesn't want to jinx it. And Will and Bo is in the house. I asked you both if Mullins would get 12 goals start of the season. You want to revise your answer yet? Well, Will and Bo, you have you have hindsight in there. And we have our first customer call in on the phone in. Lexi is in the house. If you're ready, I'm bringing you in. I don't think there is a picture, but that's
nope.
Hey, Lexi, how are you?
Hi, can you hear me?
Hey, Lexi.
We got you loud and clear.
Okay, great. I'm going to start with the positives too. I'll take my cue from Aaron. We drew. We didn't lose. Birmingham didn't have their game today, so 3 in hand is actually going to make it difficult for them to win all 3, I feel, because they're going to end up having a bunch of games back to back to back. Yeah, those are my positives.
Okay.
Mullin needs to be loaned out. I think he's having serious psychological. I think at first everybody was giving it to him because we know it can be hard, but I think he lost the fans, and I think he's now lost his teammates because today it just seemed like everything he was going for assists instead of for goals. He doesn't have any confidence in himself anymore, and it's unfortunate. I'm not mad at him. It's just a human thing. But as a striker who's getting paid as much as he is, I think he's got to be taken out for a while. And now that one of my other positives, we have the $600 million apparently injection from this family, and 10 days away from being able to get something new. I'm hoping we do. I'm really hoping I don't care what anybody says, splash the hell out for a really, really good striker. Splash that cash.
Yeah, I agree with you on that too. Michael Pierce says Mullin needs to be sold. So pass it around. Aaron, I'll go back to Lexi too. Aaron, what do you think?
I'm not ready to ditch goal scorer just yet. I think he's still got it in him. We just got to give him some time. I think he's still dealing with the after effects of that injury. So I'm not out on Mullin yet.
Okay. Lexi?
Oh, I'm not out on him, but again, that's why I think he needs to be loaned out. I think he needs to get his confidence somewhere else because he's not doing it for us and he's costing us games.
You think it's a mental thing?
Yes, very much so.
Okay.
You can see even just it's just a body language thing, watching him out on the field. Like he's just sometimes, like we're all saying today, he was playing weird. He's just, you wonder where his head's at. Like there's times where he makes really bad screw ups and he just sort of shrugs his shoulders and laughs. And I'm like, what the hell? It's not funny. It's not funny. You get paid a lot of money to do a job and you're screwing up all the time now.
What if we loan him to Birmingham?
I don't think that'd take him.
Sarah agrees it's a mental thing. All right, let me shift the gears a little bit too. Why can't we close games out? What's the problem?
It's interesting. Like I see a lot of people are really mad at Barnett today. Now we all know what Barnett does well. He's an amazing winger. He's not there to defend. That's the job of O'Connell, who needs to be replaced with Scar, in my opinion. Brunt didn't do as good of a job this game or the last game, so I'm not sure what's wrong with him. And Cleworth also hasn't really been on point. I don't know if things like with Mullin and other injuries, if psychologically, again, these things affect the whole team. And the other thing is we have no idea what's going on behind closed doors sometimes, because we've noticed where we found out, say, on another team that the manager's gone all of a sudden, then we understand why the last few games they haven't played well. So sometimes I think there's things we don't know that are going on that affect what's the word I'm looking for? How the team's basically feeling and doing. They just haven't seemed really up and happy or anything lately. I just don't feel they're meshing. I think there's some issues that we don't know about between certain players. I think there's something going on in there, and that's obviously playing out on the field. I can't say that I feel Parky's been making bad decisions. We have some really good players. It just seems like even if you seem to put the right starting team out there and one player's off, it seems to affect the whole team. It just screws it all up. Like they can't block that, oh, so-and-so's having a bad day because him and his wife got in an argument or whatever the case may be, So I think there's a lot of that going on, but it's one of those things we can't put our fingers on. Like I'm amazed last year and in this year, like we screw up a lot and we're still at the top, near the top of the league. It's amazing to me. I don't know how it works, but I'm happy that it works. But it's sometimes you just sit here and shake your head and go, what the hell is going on? We have the talent. and it's just not playing out. And I'm not sure why.
Aaron, you got something on that?
Yeah, I think the one thing to remember, just touching on what she was talking about there at the end, how we're still towards the top of the league. Other teams are having issues too. I mean, we're in the middle of the season. Everybody's got injuries. Nobody's at their best right now. You know what I mean? Not many teams are at their best right now. Most teams are trying to figure out, who's injured, what can we do in January to fix our issues. Everybody's having issues. I mean, even Birmingham, they've dropped a few points here lately. I mean, actually, the last few games they got back to winning ways, but they had dropped a few points. So it was like everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, they lost to Shrewsbury." You know what I mean? Like, how the hell do you lose to Shrewsbury? So
Yeah, it's a
it
tough league.
happens. I mean, you're gonna get weird. Things are gonna happen. Teams are gonna have issues. We had it last year. You got to remember, everybody was going insane. We went down to Forest Green Rovers and dropped points there. And everybody was like, the world's ending. We're screwed. We're over. And we ended up going up. So it's way too early to be too negative. We haven't lost in 7 games. So, I mean, it's not, granted, the last 2 results aren't what we wanted, because those are results we should be getting. We should be winning those games.
I think,
But
I guess for a lot of us, it's
okay.
long-standing consistency with some of the players. Like, we used to rely on McLean. I don't feel this season McLean's he started off strong and seems to have not be as good. Dobby started really good, not doing as well. And I know, yes, we're halfway through the season and fatigue does kick in, but there just doesn't seem to be consistency with the players. They have their up days and their down days. And I know that's how human nature is. But when you're a professional athlete, like, you got to try a little harder.
When do you start? And I'm going to say it right now, Parky Tactics would have won the last 2 games. It was not pretty, but unfortunately, player errors keep creeping is fatigue. So last one, and we'll keep it moving. We'll keep going on. And thanks for coming in, Lexi. When do you start pointing things out to Parkinson about the killing games off?
Who, me?
Yep.
The thing is I really do believe that Parky does do a good job. At the very, very beginning, like a lot of people, I questioned some of the things Parky did. And over time, we see that he actually makes good decisions. I think at this point that he does have, obviously they're his players and he has relationships with them and he's giving them more of a chance, benefit of the doubt, as it were, than the viewing public do. So I think he's giving some people a little bit more play than we would. Because again, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. He might know that somebody's got a sick family member or other things that are affecting them. So he's giving them that chance. And again, at the same time, it sounds harsh, but this is professional sport and the point is to win. And sometimes you have to just say, you know what, you're having a hard time. You need the time off from this game. I'm going to bring in somebody who might not be as strong as a player, but they'll be a stronger player than you are right now.
Got it. What do you got there, Aaron?
Oh, more optimism? I got all kinds of optimism, Vincente. No, I'm listen, guys. I went into this season and I was going to be happy if we were in contention to fight for a playoff spot.
Okay.
So if we would have been in 8th place right now, just close to the playoffs, I'd have been happy. Like, that was coming into the season. Like, that's what I thought. Like, I thought that was a realistic expectation for our season. Our season has gone so much better than what I thought it would have. I never thought we'd be this high on the table right now. So I'm not frustrated at all. I think these results happen. It's not the end of the world. It's annoying, that we dropped points in these 2 games, but it's not. We're fine. We're gonna be fine. Okay, we've got people to come in. We've got players that can come in and make differences. I did think he'd change the lineup a little bit, just because not getting the win last week, I thought that'd give him a little impetus to change it. I think he will change it now. We don't know what's up with Elliot Lee, if he'll be healthy for, what is it? Is it Thursday is our next game, right? So yeah, so we don't know if he's going to be good for Thursday. We don't know what that issue is. So I mean, right there. So what's that mean? Mullin starts, I assume. No. What do we do? And here's the other thing too. Like, obviously, like everybody, there's a lot of people in the comments, saying Scar needs to be in, Scar needs to be in. When Scar was in, I think he swapped. It was at the Stockport game. If you guys remember the Stockport game, we were playing terrible, and we couldn't get the ball forward. And so that's when he brought O'Connell in. They swapped him out, which he never changes defenders in the middle of a game. He changes defenders, it was like 70th minute, and then all of a sudden, ball started going forward. Okay, that's what O'Connell brings that Scar doesn't. O'Connell can push the ball forward. Scar does not do that, not as well, at least. Okay, that's the big difference. Now, I think defensively, when we're defending our box, I think Scar is the better player at that. But I think the reason Parkey made that change was to drive the ball forward more. Okay, and it worked in that game, and then we started getting our result. That's when we went on that run of wins. We got 4 wins in a row, I think. And so I think that's why he made that change. Now, saying that, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to Scar now. Give him a chance. He's been out a few games. We didn't, we've 2 games in a row we've not won. Maybe you make a change now. I don't think O'Connell did anything awful today, though. I don't think he wasn't the problem. I don't think.
My husband would disagree.
Okay, I know a lot of people do. A lot of people have a thing for O'Connell, but I've not seen him do anything like terrible.
He's a sloppy passer. He is very sloppy when he kicks that ball. That's the issue. He wastes a lot of balls.
All right, I think all right, so let me put this back out there too. And please, everyone, come in, get your calls in. We're going to keep this moving along. Do you think that has to do something with, having a change to the keeper, not organizing the back as well as he possibly should?
That may actually have a bigger change. That may change things a lot more than what we're given credit for.
Mental mistakes, as Marie from SoCal says right there. And even pushing the ball forward, we aren't scoring. So that's a big problem right there. So
absolutely. Our finishing is a problem right now. That is our problem.
Now, before I leave,
because
I'm going to leave room for somebody else, but I am going to go on the positive tip as well, because you guys know, from before the season started, I was like, we're going through this season, and everybody's like, no, we'll be happy if we're mid-get table, blah, blah, blah. I am extremely positive about this team. This game today did not ruin my day. I'm not going to have a terrible weekend. I'm not going to have a terrible Christmas. I only came on because we're analyzing the game, and my analysis can be negative because we just saw a game that should have been won get lost horribly at the end. But I have absolute faith in this team. I love this team, and I do analyze the hell out of the players sometimes, though, because we're on the outside looking in, and we can see where all the screw ups are, more so because we're on a top view looking down versus on a field view looking across, which are 2 totally different views. So, yes, I am going to be very critical. It's my team, and I really want them to win. But at the same time, it is my team. I love them. I think they're amazing. I still think we're going to be in the top 3, but we need to be in the top 2. So I don't know.
We need to be in the top 2. All right, Lexi, thanks for coming in.
Have a great holiday, everybody.
Have a good holiday. Tell your husbands we said hey. Thanks for
okay.
He's always welcome on too. All
Thanks.
Right.
Bye.
All right, Lexi's in the house doing her thing, and well said, Lexi. And Dewey says recall Dalby. Please God no. But that's a good shout there. Next, come on, someone else come in. Let's go. Let's get this going.
I got to talk about Dalby.
You want to talk about Dalby?
Okay. I do. I got to talk about Dalby.
Let it rip.
I think I feel the same way you do.
Okay.
I think it makes me nervous. Like, I don't think Dalby, because of the way he's performed here. Okay. But this is what I got to say. He is up there playing the role that Palmer's playing right now for us, and he's scoring goals.
Okay.
So that is what everybody's been wanting, is a player to do that. Right now, Dalby is doing that he's just doing it for Dundee United. Okay. Now, granted, I think some of it's hard to compare the Scottish Premier to League One, because I think there's a lot of teams in the Scottish Premier that would probably be more like League Two or National League level teams. But you've also got Celtic and Rangers. Yep. And I think he scored against both of them. I know he scored positive, pretty sure he scored against Rangers. I think he scored against Celtic too. So I mean, it's not like he's not performing against teams that would be championship level or higher.
Yeah.
So it's just it's a thought. It's a thought. But here's the other thing too. His contract's out at the end of the year, so we need to figure something out, or he's going away on a free, and I think that's a waste too.
I think that's a waste too. And Shelly B says, could Mullin be a player on the move for January transfer? Lacks regular play and has been a mystery for a while. Are we keeping him healthy over that part? I don't know what's going on with the Mullin thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's somebody said in the chat there'd be a disaster if that happens. All right, now I want to go back to the defense real quick and the Dalby thing. Have your say. Come in. We're going to keep it moving. Scar's defender looked comfortable with the championship last season. The fact he isn't starting near 11, quite honestly, is shocking, and I agree with that 100%.
Okay, but John Merrill, he looked comfortable in a bottom-end championship team, and right now he's in a top-end League One team. So the level's not that different. And you're going to say it is. It's not. The level's not that different. From the bottom of the championship to the top of the League One is not that far off. So it's not like he was playing in the Premier League, or somebody on the high end like Leeds or something. He's playing for Plymouth.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually didn't play the whole season. He was out for long periods of time last season.
I actually think he's playing right now. I think Dundee are playing right now, actually.
No, they play tomorrow, I think. They play Celtic tomorrow.
They play Celtic.
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought I saw that in my
Yeah, because I'm watching that game. I'm not missing that one.
Oh, okay,
I'm excited about it. Yep,
Ooh,
yep. And it's on Paramount too.
Yep, that's right. That's I thought it was on now too.
Yeah.
Ruth says, in case you want to watch, there you go. Paramount's on. There you go. Very, very early.
There it is.
Yeah. Don't worry. Kelly Davidson there. I like Dalby, but it's better for Wrexham and better for Dalby to let him play for Dundee United. If it comes back to Wrexham, it could be bad for everyone. Well, I tend to think that we need to move on, and I think there's better players out there for us to go after, especially with the influx of cash, so we can go and maybe possibly turn this around. Now, listen, I unbeaten in 7. I get it. Positivity mode. I'm not there yet, but again, this is your show, and you haven't been on today to watch the game. So, hopefully more people will call in. Don't be scared. You don't have to put your camera on.
Come in and talk to us.
Yeah.
Come tell me I'm being too positive.
I know, because I got one in the chamber. I'm going to hold it back. Michael Pierce says, we just need to spend a lot of money for high-level strikers next month and get rid of Mullin. Ooh, Michael Pierce is going all in. I like it. Wow. You're not getting rid of Mullin.
I think if you're going to get rid of Mullin,
you
want him to come back and score some goals and maximize your money out of him. I think it'd be silly to sell him now because you're not going to get anything for him. So if selling Mullin was the plan, the right thing to do is get him scoring some goals and then sell him. And then you can make some money off of him.
You say, hold on, Scotty, Dundee United are playing right now, Rangers, right now.
No, that's Dundee.
Oh, sorry. Who's he playing for?
There's 2. Yeah, there's Dundee and Dundee United.
Okay. I'm like, what? Am I crazy? I mean, I know I'm crazy, but yeah. Aaron, you're never being too positive. And Steve Barton says, Ronaldo splashed the cash on Lancashire, who played the other night against Manchester United. And Dewey says, who is scoring more than Dalby right now? Bring him back for the rest of the year. And if he doesn't perform, then he can effing walk. Okay. All right. Another question I want to put out there too. Both Fletcher and McKean got yellow carded after the game. Doesn't mean Fletcher's out is now after 5 cards. If you got a yellow card and he's on 5, then that's probably right. Well, is that true? Is he on 5 cards?
I don't know. Is Fletcher on 5 cards?
That was my question. I mean, has he played enough 5 cards?
That's what I was trying to say. I don't know if he's played enough.
Well, I
maybe
Fletcher's got his 7th. That's 7.
Or what? When's the cutoff though? When is the cutoff? Because there's like a certain amount of games, like 5 after so many games doesn't matter anymore. So I don't remember when that cutoff was.
I'm not sure either. I think it just happened.
I think it's close. We may have just passed it, so they may be okay.
Yeah, it might be, but it's coming up true. Hip Karma's in the house. Going to have her say, ready to come in. There we go. Let's see if she can crack the positivity and go straight cash, homie. What's up, Hip Karma?
Hello. Good morning. Good evening. Good afternoon.
Hello.
It's only 2 a.m. for me. It's not 4. I'm actually almost awake.
Oh, hey now. All right. What say you? Have your say, and welcome. Good to see you. Good to hear that velvet voice.
Thank you, kind sir. Actually, I am going to be here in support of Aaron, and it's wonderful to see you back and to hear your side,
Thank you.
Aaron. Yes. Was I frustrated at this game? I was. I really was. However, I'm not blaming it on one player, and I'm not blaming it entirely on the ref. We could, at the end of the day, I agree that on many statistics, we should have won it. And I agree that it feels like, and I can understand why people are commenting that it feels like we are just not finishing these games.
Mm-hmm.
Really valid observation from where I'm sitting,
Mm-hmm.
which is, with all of the other people who have opinions and are not out there on the pitch. And it's the banana peels. We were aware and we discussed the fact that we were at risk of the banana peels, and oh my Lord, has that been accurate?
Oh yeah, banana in the tailpipe. You ain't got
Oh yeah,
banana in the tailpipe. Yeah.
Yes, and still, as Aaron said, we have not lost. It just feels like it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Aaron,
Yeah,
you got something
exactly.
in the chamber there? Sounds like you do.
Yeah, I mean, well, here's the thing: you got to think too. Like, I know it's easy to be negative, but you got to think the Wickham fans can't be happy either. They're top of the league, but they keep dropping points. They've dropped points in two of their last 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're not. I'm sure they're yelling about something. I haven't watched their game, so I don't know. But they can't be happy either. They're drawing games all of a sudden when they're on such a great run.
They're gonna
So I
slide.
mean, it's everybody's going to have games like this. Like I said, I mean, Birmingham lost to Shrewsbury a few weeks ago. I mean, who in the world would have saw that coming? It's just everybody, it's going to happen. It's not the end of the world. We'll survive. We're going to be good.
Sugar in the gas tanks are very smooth. By the way, Ruth H says you should do some calming apps. Have karma, voiceover work. Do that. Okay. Which you go and so on that calming app, how do you? If you want to call me, you mentioned something about Mullin in the chat. Talk to me. Talk to us. What's going on with Paul Mullin?
I think it's really timely that we have Ruth's comment up. Thank you so much, Ruth H.
Mm-hmm.
There's the observation that Ruth made earlier this week about, based on her professional experience, that any back-related surgery is major surgery, and it can take up to 12 months for 100% fitness, match fitness. Yes, he's come back on too early. And yes, they've probably said that it isn't as significant as it actually was.
Mm-hmm.
And those of us who have watched him for years and who have read his book know that he will say, like so many other professional sportsmen, say that he is good to go, coach. I am fit to play. Put me in. And they've done that because...
Well, I think they have no choice, right? No choice.
They have no choice, but it's also Mullin's fully stated belief that he heals better on the pitch. He gets out there and he plays and he gets match ready better that way. It's going to take it. I think we need to accept that it's going to take a lot longer than we thought. I can't remember who said it in the chat earlier that if people had just turned around and said Mullin will be 100% by next season, we would have accepted that much more readily than an expectation that he's in within the first couple of months of this season and not up to speed until, February, March, if we're lucky.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that's a challenge. Are we going to loan him out? No, we're not going to loan him out. I agree entirely with the observation that it would be, and it would indeed be a PR nightmare.
Yep. I agree.
It would beat on his confidence even more than his confidence is already beaten. And that's the last thing we need. If we want at any point to have him firing, and he can, he may not, and this is speaking with respect to John Merrill, because, I respect you, John. He may not score as many goals in this league as he did in League One or the Nationals, but he can score goals, and he will score goals for us. It's just not happening yet. And he has got to be twice as frustrated as any of us are with the way he's performing. I mean, imagine this is your absolute life. Yes, we're fanatics. Yes, we kick every ball, but this is his life. This is his profession. It's his passion as well. And he has to walk home to the wife and say, well, what was your day like, dear? Well, sucked. Continues to suck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's all that, at the end of the day, though, we have to win football games. And if you're not doing good at your job, you're not going to play. You're not going to be promoted. You're not going to be all those things. So right now, currently, injured or not, he's playing them, and he's not doing well. And, he's not scoring. He's not doing his job. So, that's where I'm in. But Michael Wolf says, losing JM makes us all want Mulls to do more. Yes. And Vincent says, why are we relying on not fully fit Mullin?
Partly I because JM is dead. It's in terms of this season. Oh my God! I just realized what I said in my head and thought, "Oh, that's awful." He is no longer viable for us this season, and that has changed the pressure. One of my real questions tonight is not necessarily about Mulls and when he'll play, but how is Elliot Lee? Yeah, I mean, he's walking around, but how is he? Because he was firing for the first 30 minutes when he was on. It's like, hello, I recognize you from last season and the season before. You're awesome. So good to see you again. Yeah. And then that happened. So should we spend money in January? Yes. Yes. Do I think we will get the kind of striker that we really want in January? Not really, but I don't know enough. I'm not experienced enough, but from everything that I've heard, all you much more experienced fans say is that January is a tough window where not the best the best players are held back, and those that are available are being, premium prices. So we may get someone, we won't get the best.
Unless you pay for it.
Well, even if we do pay for it, we're not going to be getting it because people are not going to release.
Aaron, you got on that?
Yeah, I got some. Michael Pierce, you're comparing apples and oranges. In 19 and 20, Mullin was playing on the right wing. He wasn't playing as a striker. And he only played for half a season before he got sent to before he got sold. So you're saying that he wasn't good in League One in that season is that means nothing. We're not comparing. It's not the same thing. He wasn't a striker then. He was still honing his craft, and he is a different player now compared to that. So that comparison doesn't work. So I just wanted to see, because I saw he kept putting that in there, so I want to make sure that was touched on, because that's not a fair comparison for Mulls, because he wasn't a striker. He wasn't, he's playing on the wing. He's playing on the wing.
Ruth H. Everyone's defending Mulls. Didn't take till February last season. Punctured lung and broken ribs. Will he get that chance? Will Parkinson do it? Last year, he played Paul Mullin into the ground to, like, you're going to play till you get. But he's not doing that. He wouldn't have played today if Elliot Lee did not get injured and go off.
And that was the other thing I wanted to touch on too. A lot of people have been frustrated by the Elliot Lee thing. That is simply because we don't have striker options. Okay, we're stuck with what we got until January. We can't do anything. Okay,
Well, we have
so
Varson, we
it's
have Paul. We do have striker options. We
but
really do.
we don't have options that are that obviously there's something, but Varson's obviously not the
I don't think
answer.
he'll be
I think
I think so,
he
yeah.
tried that and didn't look good.
He doesn't like the
Putting
Varson.
Bod Varson out there with Palmer was not good.
Mhm.
It wasn't. Didn't work at all. I think that's why he changed the formation a little.
Mhm.
Put Elliott Lee up front, but put him in that 10 role where he's playing behind Palmer. That way we can play with one striker. We don't have to rely on Moles. And we're just going with a heavier midfield, basically, and trying to score our goals from the midfield. And I think that's why that change was made. And I think that's why that's what he's doing to get us through to January. I think that was his fix with what he had. Like I said, Bud Varson didn't work.
Mhm.
We tried it for one. I can't remember which game it was, but we tried it and it was ugly. so yeah, it's so that's who we've got right now is Mullin. So Mullin for 15 minutes a game, is fine. But until he gets back to full fitness or whatever, it gets over what he's recovering from, however long it takes him. But I think now we're looking at January. If we can get to January and we get a striker in, then we go back to our usual formation. Lee will drop back into the midfield, and I think we'll go forward like that. That's my thoughts on it.
On that, just going to give you an update on the scores. Leighton Orient are up 1-0 on Barnsley. Blackpool 0-0 on Stevenage. Burton up 1-0 on Exeter. Mansfield, Rotherham 0-0. And then Northampton are losing 2-0 to Northampton Town. And Shrewsbury are losing to Wigan 1-0. Moving on a little bit here. Speaking of Mullin, Dad Bod will now not get that contract. Speaking of Mullin, the Cambridge game, I said I thought he'd score 2. His reply was one of that. A player who didn't have faith in himself. I don't think his mentality is ready. But Attitude Era. Don't forget, I'll have my say on Wrexham reaction. This is all about you. So Hip Karma, give us more. What else did you have? What were your takes from today? More importantly, I need to know what you think of Dobson's hair, his lettuce. That's kind of very important.
You saw me. I defended Dobson's lettuce. I really did. I mean, he doesn't have to support Brill cream for the rest of his life and live life with a helmet.
I thought it was castor oil.
Well, it could be that too. Let the man have some free-flowing locks, and if he wants to idolize and support the Fletcher fro,
I think it's Magnolia. I think it's Magnolia. Tom Cruise in Magnolia.
Yes, and Fletcher is on the team with his much more samurai-looking man bun. Give him time. Look, for me, honestly, it is the most, ask most women, it is the most practical hairstyle. You have the hair back, it doesn't fall in your face, even if it's raining. Let it go. I mean, is it Elsa or Anna? I have no children, but do that Frozen thing and let it go.
There you go. That's sort of.
Oh God, yes. Oh Lord.
Oh man.
Or is it The Last Samurai? I think
I remember
it's one of the two. No, Last Samurai, he looks good. No, he looks good. Yeah. Okay. Maybe. Yeah. Sorry. We have to figure this out. It's not Last Samurai. It's definitely Magnolia, right? If we're gonna be very specific, it's definitely here. That's what he's going for. Oh man. Tom Cruise. Sorry, had to do it. Hype Karma, any other thoughts out there? Just the game today. No one really, everyone's giving Parkinson, we just got to keep going this way. I mean, we're good. 11 lost at 7, slipping away a little bit here. How do we recover? I mean, I want someone to ask him a real question. I don't think it'll happen, but does Parkinson take any responsibility here?
Parkinson will take responsibility. It's the kind of manager that he is.
Mm-hmm.
It's simply not entirely his fault. He's not the one actually out on the pitch. In the same way people kind of were going, it's Brunt's fault. There's more than one player in a team out on that pitch, people. He might have had a bad game, but he's had some brilliant games as well. So one player can have an off game.
Mm-hmm.
It's how we're finishing. And the thing that I noticed was we came out at halftime with energy again.
Mhm.
And so we came out with some energy and some confidence, and I thought, oh, this is looking promising. And then at some point, it just kind of frittered away.
Mhm.
And
Hey,
I
John,
don't have the solution to why that happened. I don't.
we do not close games out. And I said it during the watch along. I said, here we go. I said, if we don't close this game, they're going to come back. It's not over. That guy, number 9, came on. Amaturi. Aaron, you talked about him, and he's a
Mhm.
handful. He's a handful.
Yeah, he's a good player. Pace. He's got pace.
And
He's a young guy with pace. I mean, kind of striker. I wouldn't mind us going to get, but maybe not him exactly him, but something like that.
hey, why not? I mean, they
Yeah.
just, why not?
Mhm.
It was a great goal by them. So Hip Karma, where do we go from here? A couple games coming up. We are dropping points. Somebody just sent me a message. We have gotten, and I'll tell you exactly what it was. It was Matt from Racecourse just sent me a message. He said, Wrexham away home form this season. We have gotten 13 points from 30. 13 points from 30.
What were we like last season? That's the comparison I would want. I'm comparing that against nothing at this point, respectfully, because I love Matt. He's awesome. And can I just say, thank you, Kelly. Nice to have another woman agree that the hair was good, better than the helmet. Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
I couldn't take him seriously. I'd go up right behind him. Sorry, bud. Yeah, I would do it. If he was on my team, I would do it. I would totally.
You totally would not. You are too nice to do it. You would tell him that you would do it, but you wouldn't do it.
I would.
You would give him grief instead.
I'd tell him to sleep with one eye open. That's what I would do. Yeah.
You just scare him for any number of reasons.
Yeah.
I have nothing else to add. I am going to allow space for the next person to come.
Yes.
I am just glad that we have Aaron's optimism here to balance as well, because look at us. I was totally with Aaron, and I said it last week as well. Totally with Aaron. Before the beginning of this season, I was upper mid-table, contesting for playoffs. I'll be happy. This is awesome. Where we are is awesome. And as you have repeatedly said, Josh, we are here in this space and we're not playing 100% and we don't have a decent striker at the moment.
Yeah.
Look at us.
Yeah, look at us. And we kick every ball, understandably so. And we're allowed to get frustrated, and we're allowed to, be pissed off a little bit too. But we're in a good position. I just think we could be doing better.
We could. Yeah. Ruth H.
Yeah, we
look,
could.
See,
Yeah.
the women are liking the ponytail. The women say, give us the cue, please. Not the I can fry chips on his head on a hot day hairstyle.
Oh my God. I love it. Maybe because all the guys even including myself, were all going bald. We're just jealous. Not Aaron. Aaron's got a full head. I don't know.
I got a full head of hair. I just always wear a hat.
All right, Hip Karma. It's good to hear from you. That's great.
Good to speak to you, gentlemen. And on that bombshell.
There you go. She's out. Awesome. Aaron.
What a legend.
Absolute legend. Oh man. Oh God. I don't know. I'm for one. I'm frustrated. I know.
Dude, and here's the thing: we all should be frustrated because that's a game we should be winning. We should be frustrated, but let's just not go over the top. You know what I mean? It's calm down. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah. PCH Scuba is in the house. No. Hey, what's going on, brother? Yeah, people are going to drop points around us, but we, the striker's a problem. I think we also got to play these strikers too, or whatever the hell he's going to. New striker would be a problem position last summer. Address the issue of management issue is on Parkey. So, okay, put it on the Parkinson. Here we go. Anyone want to come at Parkinson? Give him.
See, I disagree with that, Kim. I think we had we wouldn't be having this conversation if Marriott doesn't get hurt.
Okay.
If Marriott doesn't get hurt and he continues his form, we're not having this conversation. We're talking about how great a signing it was last January, bringing Marriott in. That's what we're talking about. and we're probably talking about Marriott's new deal he just signed. You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
by now, if he keeps in form, he's probably already got a new deal. Because you got to remember his deal's out at the end of the season too.
Uh-huh.
So
we have a lot of strikers that we're not, that we like, that aren't firing. On the midfield part, what did you make of dropping Dobson minus the hair and
it's
putting in-
interesting. It's interesting. To be fair, I did think like the last few games, Dobson's been a little off it. He's not
Yep.
been at his best.
Yep.
And it's weird because I wondered how he'd do when he moved him forward. Okay.
Mhm.
And played that Andy Cannon type spot. I wonder how he'd do because he'd done so well as like as the holding mid. And I thought at first he was doing really well, and it just seems like the last few games he's been a little off it. So, and maybe it's not that at all. Maybe he's got a little, little something, muscle strain or something, or just protecting him.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say like why he would do it. But I actually thought Andy Cannon played fine today. I didn't think he was
Okay.
outstanding, but I don't think he did anything wrong.
Mhm.
So nothing, no, nothing to say bad about that as far as Cannon goes. Rathbone I thought was great again today. I thought he was really good. That dude he's got a motor on him, man.
Oh yeah,
That dude he just goes.
he's like a energizing bunny for sure.
Mhm.
Just keep going.
And I'll tell you what, for the goal, that pass from
Matty James.
Matty James was whew,
Yeah,
that was
unbelievable.
beautiful.
Pinpoint.
So
And that was my argument too. Running the channels, getting the ball on the ground, putting
Yeah.
it through. It had a nice little curl on it,
Mhm. Yeah, it's
That's great.
beautiful.
We need more
Beautiful
of
pass.
that. And this is my
we do.
this is my next thing. Where's Stash? What's going on with Stash?
I
Why he wasn't even in the
don't
lineup today?
know. Yeah. But I don't know that I don't know that him not being in the lineup today was a slight on him
Mhm.
as so much as it's just we've got so much quality in our depth that
Mhm.
I mean all those players, almost all the players on the bench, you could have made a argument for to be a starter. You know
Even
what I
Fall.
mean? Like seriously, if you look at that bench, other than Fall, probably any of them, you could have made the argument that they should be starting.
Mhm.
You
We
know
have
what I'm?
3
Yeah,
strikers on the
so
bench.
yeah, yeah,
3 strikers on the
yeah,
bench. 1 midfielder, a goalkeeper, and Scar. So
yeah. I don't know why he keeps honestly that. To your point, I don't know why he keeps putting Fall on the bench
I,
if you're not going to go to him.
yeah.
I,
What are you warming him up for? I don't understand.
yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why we're putting him on the bench. But and then you could have had an O'Connor on the bench.
Yeah.
Um,
He maybe has
to
an
your
injury.
point.
Who knows? He said there's some niggles there. There was some, had a little bit there. Vincente says
Yeah.
Matty was his man of the match. Lexi said agreed. Dabo hasn't been up to par. A good swap having Cannon, and I think it's okay today. I don't know. Gorcha George now is an option. I think he'll be back. I thought he'd be on the bench today. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually started up today. With 4 back-to-back matches coming up, there will be some swapping out. You know what? You would think so, Lexi, but God knows.
Yeah, I think there will be. I think there will be.
Show of faith putting Fall on the bench, he said. And who do we play instead of Lee if his knee injury is a game missing issue? I don't know. See if he starts. See if he starts Mullin. Who the hell knows?
Or if Mullin, if you could do something different, you don't have to play Mullin if you don't want to.
Mhm.
With the formation that we're using, okay, you could move Rathbone into the position that Lee's been playing.
Mhm.
And then you could play Dobson and Cannon with Matty James behind him.
Mhm.
So you could still play that, whatever you want to go 3-5-1-1, whatever you want to call it, formation with
Mhm.
the 10 instead of the second striker. You could put Rathbone up there, or honestly, I think Cannon could do it too.
Yeah.
But so we've got options. We've got options. So that I don't think that it's not the end of the world if Lee misses a game or two. And then also, depending on how Mullin's feeling, if he can go a full game, play him.
It sounds like
Like,
he can
he's
go a full
fine.
game. He just can't score, for God's sakes.
I
On the
know.
pop-up, yeah, just because he came in at 35, right?
I know. Yeah, exactly.
So Matty James got man of the match, 7.9 looks like. Okay. And then I'd say Rathbone, they said a bad 6.9. O'Connell 7, Brunt 7.1, McLean 7.2. Didn't see that. Elliot Lee 7.4. Palmer got us 5.9. That's about right. And Fletcher 6.1, 6.6, and Dobson wasn't on long enough there too. So that's those are FOT mob, what they said. Show of faith putting Fall on the bench. Show, I guess. I have no idea. I have no idea. And do you know what the fight was about at the end?
No, I don't know. I missed it. I turned off because I was coming to get set up for over here. So I turned off right as the game ended, basically. As soon as they blew the whistle, I turned off, so I missed it completely.
You could put Rev on the least. Oh, wasn't Rev on the bench too? Rev was on the bench, right?
Was he? I don't remember.
I don't know.
I don't know. Probably.
But all right. Well, I mean, listen, if no one else wants to call in, we'll keep it under an hour today, and we'll get everyone ready for Wrexham reaction. I'm glad we did this though. PCH says 2. I don't know what that means. PCH says 2. And I'd start Fletcher as a front man and we put Ben Swap at mid outlet. Last time he started, scored a hat trick. Fletcher wouldn't start. He can make it past 20 minutes, I don't think. Right?
No. He struggles.
Yeah.
He struggled. That wasn't the last time he started. That was the first time he started last year, Matt Al.
Yeah.
He scored a hat trick. Since then, he started a few times since then, and it's not been good any of those times.
No. North Wales guy is telling Kelly Davidson to call in. Yeah, we'll go out another minute or two, but for me, we need to figure out how to score goals and close games out. I think we took a foot off the gas. Yeah. They showed no fear. They kept coming. They scored. They kept.
No, yeah. Credit to them. They played their asses off. They played great in that second half, and you can't take that away from them.
Nothing to lose, right? Nothing to lose for them. And they're. I'm going to see the live table real quick before we get out of here. Table looks like such. So we are still in third place. We play on Boxing Day against Blackpool. And Blackpool are in 12th currently right now, 12th place, and they're drawing 0-0.
They are drawing, no.
How deep in the mud now? You know what we are right now? We're the white horse in Never Ending Story, for fuck's sake. That's what we are.
We're not that deep in the mud. We're not dying in the mud, Josh. Come on. We're not dying. We're like, when it gets a little wet outside and your car kind of gets off the driveway a little bit and your tires start slipping. That's what we're in. We're in that kind of mud. We're not like deep in the mud. We're just tires are spinning a little bit. We'll get there.
Sure.
We'll figure
it out.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
I love it.
We'll get there. Now, if we go and lose 3-0 to Blackpool, then maybe we're in the deeper stuff. But
yeah, this is how deep we are right here. That's how deep we are. Right there.
No, we're not. We're not that deep.
Right here. This is us right now. And that's
you're giving people trauma. People who watch that movie are getting trauma from watching.
Apparently that horse did die. I hope it's not true. That's the way it did not die. But that's us right now. And then this is going to be our new striker coming in right there. That's going to be our new striker coming in January, coming to save us. I love it. I love it. That's by the way, that is one of the saddest scenes ever. Just FYI. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Trigger warning.
Yeah.
John says, I'll ask you again when Huddersfield win the game in hand. They put you down the 4th. Well, John's you're right. Yeah. Geez, horrible image. I know. Kelly, I hate that. It's one of my worst. One of my worst. And one of my worst pictures ever. But I understand. But anyways. All right. Is that Artax? Is that what Artax? Is that the name of the horse?
Is that the name of the horse? Yeah, it might be. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah. The horse name is. Oh, come on. The image. Sorry, but the image of sadness. That's where Artax. Yeah, name Artax, belonging to the main character Atreyu. So there we go. Sorry. Anyways, brother, you're. I'm gonna jinx it now. Your internet looks absolutely chef's kiss.
All right. Well, you know what I did?
What'd you do?
I'm not on my house internet. I am running off the internet off my daughter's phone. So I connected. I'm off her hotspot. So that
Oh,
might be the way to go do things going forward because my home internet is horrible. So
Starlink incoming, my
yeah,
guy.
yeah. For those who are asking, and because I was all excited the other day because I was supposed to be getting new internet, they came out here, stood around for 2.5 hours, and then said, "Well, we can't service your home because your home's too far away from the road." I'm like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah. Well,
So yeah, I'm
what do we do?
frustrated.
Yeah. By the
So
way,
we're gonna
yeah.
cut a few trees down.
Go cut some trees down. Sorry, Kelly Davidson. I'm sorry. I apologize. Trust me. That always makes me cry. That image. So I apologize. It was a bad joke. Damn it. She's gonna be so mad at me.
Yeah, you're fired. You're fired. You're in trouble.
I should probably get out of here real fast. I'm sorry. I'm genuinely. Yeah, I got. Okay. You need Starlink, Aaron, and
That's the plan. That's what we're doing as soon as I get back from vacation. That's what we're doing.
Okay, brother. It's good to see everyone in. Barnsley down 2-0. And Ruth H is going to crawl in and cry. No, don't let it ruin Christmas, holidays, everything. It's just football. We can be frustrated. We're going to bounce back. We're going to kick our tires. We're going to kick and scream. Aaron's going to go to Starlink, and I love it. It's awesome. So, yeah, virtual hug to everyone, by the way. Virtual hug to everybody. All right, Aaron, tell the family we said hi. We will see you in the next couple of days, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, we'll be around.
Awesome.
I'm off for the next 2 weeks. I'm off of work for 2 weeks, so
awesome.
I'll be around.
We'll get it in. Okay, never-ending story. God, I'm going to shut down.
You can't believe you did this. You screwed everything up. You ruined everybody's day.
I did. It's fine to lose football games, but I totally get it. Yeah, God. It actually looks like my horse Smokey that I used to have when I was younger on my farm. Well, tune in on Monday to watch us go top of the league. Happy holidays, y'all. Yes. Dobson, rest. Okay. I'm off next week too, says Nikki D. All right. Wrexham REXtra will come in later on, and thanks for coming in. Please smash a like, subscribe. You haven't subscribed to the local pundit, and on that bombshell, we will see you.